Now, I think that was really, really, really well played there. I mean, before we signed this one off for that match, I think just the fact that in the final game, Biohazard realized that, look, I just need to get in. I need to implement that pain and gain pressure. The second he did, 50% corner combos.
He stopped using pain and gain for pressure, and he was using it when he was at neutral, so he could go in with damage buff. So he had that armor. I mean, you saw the armor just take the Predator charge just like that. I mean, he got the punish for that. He basically whiff punished it because it technically whiffed, even though it didn't hit.
So, coming up next, we have CR WoundCowboy versus Pig of the Hut.
Now, this is a good one because these guys, you know, they're friends in real life, you know, they do get on, but there is usually quite a bit of back and forth between these guys in terms of the characters they play, what they think of the characters and whatnot. I mean, obviously, Kenshi, I keep calling him Kenshi because I'm talking about it. Pig of the Hut played Kenshi in MK9, which obviously, a lot of people were quite upset about Kenshi in that game, but Pig was the only one.
Kenshi was pretty good in Mortal Kombat 9. I think we can all agree there.
But, you know, with that in mind, Pig was the only Kenshi player really making everyone think that, which, you know, if you as a player can single-handedly make an entire community of people dislike a character, you have succeeded with that character. And that is what WoundCowboy is doing with Shinnok in the United States.
I think it's also the fact that we have to go back to the variation system once again. It's also the fact that WoundCowboy plays all three variations. And, you know, we've even seen him go Necromancer in tournament. Necromancer really is... And I still don't think Necromancer was actually that fantastic.
But we've seen him pick Necromancer and win. That's the thing.
Exactly. He has won with the variation. And it's like... It really takes someone... And again, we go back to Pig. The character variations where Pig plays Kenshi, but he plays all three variations. He plays the board. We had Biohazard playing the board. I mean, these guys that specialize in one character, we can see that counter-picking is a thing. Playing other characters can be important, but when there is a character that ticks many boxes, or at least your boxes for the way you want to play, that is exactly why we see people go, you know, WoundCowboy, Shinnok Specialist, Pig of the Hut, Kenshi Specialist, with Reptile for the bad matchups.
But that leads me into what I was going to say. I don't think we're going to see Kenshi here. I truly think Pig of the Hut, I mean, that is not a good matchup for Kenshi. Shinnok does handle Kenshi extremely well, especially Bone Shaper. Are we going to see Reptile here?
I really don't know. Honestly, to start with, I would very much think that Pig will try either Reptile first because he acknowledges that it's a matchup he just would rather play Reptile in because there's money on the line, or he's going to be a character loyalist.
So you think it's going to be one way or the exact opposite?
It's going to be, I probably should use Reptile, but I want to see for at least one game if I can win with Kenshi. Because, and there we go, it looks like he's actually opting to go back for Reptile. Now, sometimes, yeah, character loyalty can kind of...
Well, it's not the Madsen set. It's like before, where Kenshi can actually deal with Grandmaster. The clone doesn't really work in that matchup. Bone Shaper really doesn't care about anything Kenshi wants to do.
The Reflector doesn't really help when you have a projectile that is as fast as it is. Hellsparks is a thing, obviously. Now, here's the thing. Bone Shaper controls the space. Hellsparks, normally a bit of a pain in the backside to deal with. Reptile, Meterless Slide will punish. Meter Burn Slide will get through,
elbow
even if
dash
he Meter
punish.
Burns.
Meter Burn, Elbow Dash, Launch and Punish.
Reptile has an answer for this matchup. There's going to be a button check right now, making sure everyone is ready to go. Obviously, playing for $100,000, your buttons kind of have to be ready.
If you go into a button check, well, if you go into a 100K button check, it's probably a bit stressful. I mean, even then, like, testing your buttons is one thing, but taking that extra few seconds to think, right, this is what I'm playing on. Because a lot of people will just hit restart match. This is the stage. These are the characters. What can I do with this? Because the interactables do play a part as well. Let's not forget this. The interactables, some characters get more out of them than others, but across the board, it's worth knowing what you have access to, what your opponent has access to as well. That's even more important. And especially the variations characters take as much time as you need, even if it isn't the button check, to just make sure you're ready. Because there is a significant amount of money on the line today.
Now, the interesting thing about this matchup specifically is the Dark Beam does go really, really fast. Is Shinnok and Bone Shaper going to really care about that full-screen Force Ball acid game?
I think if he can get the Force Ball on the screen, yes. But if he's winning it with the Dark Beam, then maybe it'd be quite difficult. I mean, Reptile does have amazing answers for the ground pound. He can just elbow dash and jump in. But at the same time, Cowboy can just not use that. You don't need that that special move to win a matchup.
I completely agree there. I mean, I think we might not really be able to see Pig play the same kind of Reptile game we saw against Madsen. But here we go. WoundCowboy versus Pig of the Hut. Shinnok versus Reptile. Instantly runs in for the forward trying to tag it. Not ready for the Dark Beam. And there we go, straight into the Hellsparks just to deny that environment interaction. And then here comes the restand into a mix-up.
Oh, wow. Really good read from Pig of the Hut.
That was a change Shinnok received. I mean, you don't really get anything for free off Hellsparks anymore. And off the restand in general. Even the Dark Beam on hit. Pig knows that. Oh, speaking of knowing that, goes in for the low scoop. Does get the jump back punch. Does whiff, unfortunately. Here comes Pig of the Hut. Goes in for the overhead. You might potentially wait for the counter poke, and that's why you eat overheads like that.
Oh, has the jump over. Oh, catches the low. Oh, wow, really nice. Oh, no, but he does drop. That was enough. Again, as soon as the wake up was there, Pig was ready for it. There's the string, and that'll be chip damage. But Cowboy has access to 2 bars of meter.
That was an expensive round for Pig, though. There's running in for the scoop, whiffs it again. Normally, WoundCowboy bang on the money for when he should go for a neutral jump punch or a back jump. 2 for 2, unfortunately, has misjudged the range on that. Oh, wow, right overhead. Overhead. That's not going to do much damage, even with the bar, but the more important thing really is the corner positioning. Oh, gets it, blocks it. You don't really see people block that string a lot, but they normally...
Well, it's the opposite, right? I mean, forward 4-1 is the knee into overhead. That's a, you know, tongue, I suppose, into low. So it's literally like either mid overhead, high low. Like, it's definitely the opposite. You have not a lot of time at all to react to which one you're now blocking.
Oh, and there we go. I mean, the patience there. WoundCowboy knowing when to use Hell Sparks. This is the other element of the matchup. He now has him in the corner, and WoundCowboy has the entire screen to work with. So it's going to be a read of, is Pig going to try and go for an armor charge? Oh, nice anti-air. Good patience there.
I do love how Pig's never hesitant. Oh, again, I guess it's like the Kenshi in him makes it worth it. Using, even if it's the last bar of beat, to guarantee an anti-air. Oh, wow, Hell Sparks. Still with him. Wonderful reactions from Pig of the Hut.
Good use of the flip there. Oh, does eat the forward 4. That's going to be a full combo into a restand. Now, the question is, WoundCowboy's going to have to read how Pig's going to try and escape here. And there was the delay. He tried to bait something, but unfortunately hesitated. Does eat the meter burn reversal anyway. There's the repositioning. Gets the grab. Ever slightly too late. Has to go for Hell Sparks. Has to meter burn, otherwise it's unsafe. Tries to wait for the reversal again.
Oh, that's the low. Gets it again.
Oh, going to get the block damage here. Oh, wow, the patience there. Presses a button, hesitates, and eats the acid.
Did you see what happened there? He knew Cowboy was blocking, so he walked forward and pushed Cowboy ever so slightly further forward, and then let go of the force ball. That was incredible.
Now, this is one thing Pig does. We see Reptile players out there, right? But one thing Pig does better than any of them is that force ball pressure. He knows when to slow it down. He knows when to go for a fast one. He knows when to pause it. He uses it as a zoning tool.
But he favors the slow ball over the fast one 10 out of 10 times.
Nice jump back. Drops it again. WoundCowboy, not very execution heavy right now.
Oh, that's going to miss. But still has some pressure. Manages to build some bar back. Oh, Cowboy. It's hit by the overhead again. I mean, I say that 50-50 is a 50-50, but Pig is just in his mind right now.
There's the force ball, and there we go, controls it. He has a lot of health to work with, can't take too many of those trades, and that's one of the things that WoundCowboy does. Goes for the Hell Sparks, you can meter burn it to be plus. Normally the Hell Sparks is unsafe, but you just can't go for a punish, because the second you do, you eat meter burn Hell Sparks and get popped up.
Goes to full screen. 2-1 cancel Hell Sparks, and what a read by Cowboy. And that's it. He's just fundamentally so strong of a player. His reads, his spacing, his neutral, his meter management. Cowboy really is the complete package right now.
Looks like he has no bar of meter, but all he has to do really is one piece of block pressure into the bar. Taking damage anyway is giving him that meter that he needs. That now equals Hell Sparks. Invisible overheads, can't see those. Good block there from Wound. And there we go. Again, the change to those Hell Sparks, you don't have to respect them. It's more of a read of what comes next. Nice instant jump, reading the jump in there. Not ready. You're very rarely ready for that instant jumping punch, especially when it's as strong as Shinox. Nice, good playoff there. The full screen. Would you believe the range on that was nerfed?
I mean, that's it. He knows the spacing. He knows the max range, and there we go.
Oh, just the fast ball gets anti-aired, still alive, but unfortunately can't really take anything there. Even if he went for a meter burn reversal, he didn't have the health to take that forward 4. Now, the question is, right, if Pig of the Hut went for the meter burn slow ball, Wound would have jumped right into that. It's the fact that Pig just so happened to do the fast force ball right as Wound decided to jump.
But that's what I mean. Like we said earlier, he does favor the slow force balls. If in that situation he did a meter burn slow one, it might have actually anti-aired for him and won him the round.
Well, either way, that's going to be 1-1. Pig of the Hut taking a few seconds out. He's thinking about it. He's deciding what he has to go for next. I think Reptile is still a strong pick because you have the tools from full screen. The slow force ball does have a place in the matchup, and you've got a really, really good reversal for if you get a good read on when Wound's going to try and press those buttons after Hell Sparks. Like good right now, he might even go for a reversal here. And that's the jump. Ready for it. He knows that Wound's going to jump, and he's just going to wait for it to guarantee that anti-air. Oh, nice delay wake up. Down for Hell Sparks. The troop, I mean, that's such a cheeky move. Oh, nice conversion. The meter burn scoop off the overhead just to reposition there.
Well, gives you nice damage. And a normal meatless conversion into that restand is actually quite difficult, so why mess about? Use the bar, get that restand, get the the momentum. You need that restand with Bone Shaper, otherwise you're getting wasted.
Nice reversal there. Wound bang on the money with these reversals at the moment. Is he going to go for a reversal as well? Nice running grab. He really bet that it was a risky situation to go for a meter burn grab, and he was ready for it. Oh, and he tried to meter burn slide. didn't have the health for it. He's going to lose the bar and the round.
But that was his only bar of meter. He is now completely out and has his back to the corner. I mean, Shinnok, not the greatest corner pressure in the game, but at the same time, you know, you don't want to give your opponent all that space.
Here's that full screen game once again. Runs in, gets a good overhead, goes for the scoop just to put him near the corner, giving him more screen to work with. I agree with the jump.
Nice punish on that down two.
Trades definitely in WoundCowboy's favor, I think. That Dark Beam does do good damage.
And now I think we're going to see Pig try and get some force balls on the screen in this situation, but he has to be careful. He has to respect Hellsparks, because if he gets tagged, this is going to happen.
Sends him full screen. Wound doesn't even want to keep him up close. If you keep him up close, he has a chance to get a meter burn reversal. If he gets that, the momentum's back in his favor. Send him full screen, make him struggle to get in. Nice flip over the Hellsparks. Still has to watch out for them. The meter burn is gone though, but one more block screen will give him the... Right there, has the meter again. Oh, bad read there. Wound's going to take that one. That's going to be 2-1. Now, I think Pig finds himself in a situation. There's the brutality as well. Ouch.
Now, what does he do? Does he stick with Reptile, or does he maybe go to Kenshi?
I'm really not sure what... It's a bit of a rough situation because I think Wound seems a lot more comfortable. Pig is going to go into the character select either to change characters or give himself a little bit of time to think. So he has gone straight back into Reptile. I think he might potentially want either a different stage or he just wants that little bit of time to think about what he needs to adapt to, because he looked really strong in game one, but Wound now looks like the one that's comfortable compared to Pig going into this next game.
So Bone Shaper, deceptive once again. I mean, we're not really seeing too much invisibility, but again, like if you're using bar and invisibility, you don't have it for the reversals. And you kind of need meter to really show Shinnok that he can't just have his way with you for the restand. Looks like, yeah, they are opting to go to a different stage as the Sky Temple is not the best to play on, so they are both going to mutually agree, let's just change the stage.
The Sky Temple was just a dark stage, that's all. That's the only reason players tend to change stages, so going back in for this random select, we're going to see what stage these guys get given. So we're going to go for the training stage. That could be any of them, but either way, Outward Marketplace, nice bright stage.
And it's got Blanche.
Well, exactly. Who doesn't love Blanche?
The guy that throws her and kills her, probably.
Oh, so everyone then?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. All right, so it's going to be the same matchup we've just seen, and it's basically just going to be that when the momentum is changed, it's when Pig gets a good read on a reversal.
Yeah.
Reversals against Bone Shaper are really important because if you get good reads as Bone Shaper, it just seems like you're unbeatable. You know, it seems like the character controls space, he's got the pressure, like you just can't get around it. But if you get that one good read just there, speaking of good reads, really nice reversal bait there from WoundCowboy. Oh, meter burn charge.
That's it, though. You can try and read Shinnok, but if he reads you back,
oh, good. Speaking of reads, chasing down the backdash.
As the bar of meter decides to save it. That's quite a nice life lead. Might just be trying to save as much meter as he can for the second round. And that whiff is going to be big. Going to burn the bar here for the combo. This is going to kill.
It, to me, really feels like Pig is being a little bit too hasty with those meter burns. I mean, there is a time and a place to go for your meter burn armored moves, and I just don't think doing it in the neutral like that is a time for it.
I understand why he decides to do it when he does. It's just a shame that he's just like thinking one or two steps too far ahead. But let's get a hit. It's completely invisible here. And some Oki, oh no, down two says absolutely not Reptile.
Shinnok does, definitely, undeniably. Once again, there's a read. Goes in for the run, but he delays it, making you think he's going to go for a grab, of which you're going to start trying to press a button. You press a button, he goes in for a string and chews it up.
Nice throw by Pig, gets himself 12%. Has a life lead at last. But what can he do with it? Oh wow, best bar as well.
That's going to be good damage. I believe that does turn into 30% off the overhead. And there's the read there. No meter to convert off those Hellsparks. Pig has one bar, but he's got to be so careful with it.
He's approaching it. One more blocked Hellsparks going to give it to him. No, he just took the damage, which gave him the bar instead. Jump kick's going to take that. Oh, wow, nice.
Unfortunately, just like that, Pig gets the meter burn. That once again sliced straight in there. Pig of the Hut gets sent into the lower end of this bracket. WoundCowboy moves on.
Wow, really, really good set. I mean, WoundCowboy showing everyone why he is the best Bone Shaper player on the planet.
Undeniably, really good set there. I mean, Pig he had signs of life there. I mean, he was playing really well. It was just a matter of those reads on the Hellsparks. When it came down to it, WoundCowboy, I think, just played a little bit better. And it's just, once he understands, that's the thing about a 3 out of 5 set, right? In that there are so much things that are not guaranteed, but in your favor when it comes to playing as Bone Shaper. But there are ways out of these kind of offensive tools. So when you start reading, you know, the opponent tries to do meter burn reversals, he loves going for backdashes. It's a matter of, once you understand how the opponent tries to get out of your pressure, that's when the matchup really begins, because it's who reads who first.
But that's it, that's what it boils down to. It's, I know this is a thing, time to do something about it. It's not even just appreciating it, respecting it, knowing it's a thing, it's actually going out and doing something to stop it. And that situation, you know, WoundCowboy saw, okay, he's armoring a lot, he is trying to move in a lot, after you have this meter burn of visibility, backdash. Or if he's going to backdash me, I'm just going to sprint straight at him. Because if he doesn't do it, I'm literally just going to run him in his face. But if he chases with you, he has read you, and he's going to punish you and take away 30% of your health into a restand.